Greetings everyone, I am Eric Paulson with Your Essential Practice. Today we're going over a rune reading. It's the number 6 day for me, so as promised, you will get a rune reading complete with a couple cards for clarification. We're going to pull a chakra token and get a little in depth about that and what meditations Divine would like us to carry out here to address any issues that may arise. So, that being said, let's clear the space. I have my wonderful singing bowl here. In the singing bowl, I have a $2 note that is inviting uncommon abundance to this reading, to you, to everyone involved in this reading, okay? So let's close our eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and let's cleanse the space for your rune reading. Now after those few cleansing breaths, don't you feel a little more level-headed, centered, ready to receive that divine communication that's about to take place? Right? Let's get into the rune reading. How's everyone feeling? A lot of us have been challenged here recently with review of the last 5 months. That's the trick of the solstice, right? It has us reflecting on just before the last equinox, and it has us preparing for the harvest equinox coming up. And there's a Lionsgate portal that's coming up just before that equinox, so it's kind of like, it's about a couple weeks away, I want to say. It's right after that is a supermoon, I believe. It's on July 9th, so pay close attention to rune readings that are coming out at that time. Past influences. This is the Divine Feminine. This is Lagos. This is literally, it means lake or water, sea or flow. This is divine downloads through prophetic dreams, that divine feminine healing work that we've all been working on. Well, hopefully we've all been working on that, right? Present influences. Oh, this can mean dowsing as well. So present influences are in the divine downloads, divine communication. So when we think things like, oh, that thing that I just did didn't quite work out, and you have that initial hunch, right there, as divine trying to talk to you. Divine's always trying to talk to you. It's up to us to tune in. This is like an antenna, right? So this is Ansus, is for communication. It's also like God-like communication. So this can mean also interpersonal, healthy communication. Divine feminine downloads being translated probably in these present influences. A lot of the divine feminines that I know out there that truly embody that divine feminine healing work are getting tons of this download information right now, and lots of challenges, but yet success and growth and learning in the process. So I celebrate my divine feminine counterparts, and I bow to the divine feminine within me as well. Future actions for the best outcome are in the birch rune. So B is for birch or Berkana, birth, beginnings, nurturing, family. So future actions could be in a birth of a new project, nurturing ideas, nurturing that divine feminine healing, those communications that come in from divine to us, like to get going on that work, right? To birth that new process and to nurture it, right? To continue nourishing this aspect that's going on in our lives. A lot of us have been challenged a lot recently, thinking, oh, I was just healed. Why am I going through the same crap again? Because divine is trying to communicate with you and ask you, are you sure? Because the direction that we choose to go with this birth is going to determine the rest of your life. Mark my words. Action taken for the best outcome is an elk rune, right? So this is August. This is self-defense, protection, divine protection, to know that you're divinely protected. How beautiful is that? I love all these runes together, y'all. Just saying. Because this divine feminine healing, spending time with water, right? Prophetic dreams and godlike communication with, it could be interpersonal. It could also mean with the divine or with ourselves, right? Healing work and birthing these new concepts, knowing that we're divinely protected and that outcome to defend this work, right? Defend it and know that you're divinely protected. How beautiful is that for that action taken for the best outcome? I love the elk rune. Feelings and emotions are in the unknowing. So a lot like the birth, this can also symbolize a womb. I call it the gambler's cup. A lot of people call it that. It's also very much indicative of a female womb of any kind. It could be a pet, could be you, it could be somebody in your family, right? So that rune is called Pertho. It could also mean friendly competition or an initiation, right? I like to think of it as like shrugging the hands, like, I don't know, it's anybody's guess, because it's up to you to defend this and to make sure that it's nurtured. The birth of this new concept is, and these communications, this healing divine feminine that we've been going through, right, is really feelings and emotions are in the unknowing, are in this period of waiting. This is a time to reflect also and to incubate our ideas, right? Because very soon a lot of this momentum is going to pick up speed. I know we've been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing for change. And guess what? Divine is responding, y'all. When we don't feel that response from divine right away, like we might be getting some of these downloads. Yes, we're doing some healing work, but when we're not seeing the progress that we thought we would, that just means that it's like a big inhale before the deep exhale, right? It's drawing that breath and that breath hold, gathering it up to the crown chakra, because it's gathering the power to really, really take you for a ride. Because you come in and then you come out changed. You come in one way and you come out changed. And this is going to be a long-lasting, permanent change, y'all. The choices we make will determine the rest of our lives, right? So our possible problems are in the hail rune. So this could mean an actual natural disaster, right? It's hurricane season. So Hagalas calls for disruption, destructive, and creative forces, right? So not only is this destruction, it could also mean creation, right? Because with fire also leaves fertile ground, right? A volcano can cause tons of devastation, but leave behind the most fertile soil, right? So this is calling us to make sure that all our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. All our ducks in a row and our squirrels aren't at the rave. We're calling them home, y'all. We're making sure that we don't have this oops, I forgot something moment, right? You're not going to go water your crop right before it rains. Okay? So future outcome in that regard is, okay, stuck and rigid. So this is the ice rune, a standstill. So this could be a warning. Yeah. Future outcome is more of I don't think this is necessarily bad, because that divine feminine, depending if you're taking it to a toxic level, you could mean be frigid and frozen and stuck in that aspect, right? But when you're in a healthy defense, you're divinely protected. You've gone through this incubation period, right? All this this upset or this oopsie moment, right, as I like to call it, the hail rune. It can also mean creative forces, right? Maybe this is something that's going to take place in the winter or close to it. It could mean literal ice. Okay, it could mean a solidification of this aspect, right? Healing that divine feminine with the birth and the nurturing, our divine downloads, our good self-defense in place, right? Our thoughts and emotions were tangled up in the not knowing, and that's okay. Ask divine for guidance, because the divine guidance will let you know what you need to take care of to best prepare for what's ahead. Because let me tell you, every time we make a new level, there's a new test. And if this week hasn't been an example of it, I don't know what is. Because a lot of us are challenged right now in review and maybe repeating some lessons, right? Going through that in a healthy way. Make sure you're going through this in a healthy way, y'all. Birch is also family, so for future actions you can rely on family, but don't rely on them too much. You might have to defend yourself from the family in that aspect, right? I'm a black sheep myself, so it really could go either way. But when we're in these creative forces, these natural forces, right, we're letting divine guide us through these natural means, right? Divine downloads. With these directly across from one another, I firmly believe that divine guidance will get us through our next test. Okay? And it'll solidify ourselves in that healed divine feminine. Okay, so there's the positive aspect of it. Of course, the negative aspect of it is taking it to a toxic level, forgetting things, and failing our tests, and remaining stuck and having to repeat lessons. That's the negative side. Okay, let's get some clarification. I believe the cards will holler at us today with clarification. Is this divine? I want to ask right now before I start shuffling, and please let me know that it, without a doubt, it comes from you, right? Is this a positive aspect for Isa here? Is this a solidification of healing that divine feminine? Whoa, I'm telling you, the cards want to holler. I have a feeling that we're going to get some major clarification from the cards here. Divine, what message of clarification do you have for the collective during this rune reading? I admit, y'all, let me just pause for a second. I did pull the blank rune. and I don't do blank runes for collective reads. Okay, so Isa in place of the blank rune in this unpredictable future outcome position. It literally could mean another gambler's cup here. So divine, what message do you have for the divine, or excuse me, yes, my divine brothers and sisters in the collective today. Divine, what message of clarification do you have for the collective today? I think my cards are a little stuck, y'all. Let me give them a rigorous shuffle here. All right, that usually does it. Divine, I'm going to keep going until you give us a card. I know we're patient for your communication, and I thank you for being here with us. Now, then, and always. Divine, what message do you have for the collective today? I'm pretty close to it is saying. It is saying I am very close to the card. Well, was that it? Okay. Well, you see right away we have the purpose card. And it says, I know what I am here to do. So that's the purpose card. Okay, and we'll get clarification on both of these. I'll read a little bit more about them. The next card is surrender. Woo! Y'all, we can't control our future. We can just get these divine downloads, and instead of a reactive state, come from a responsive state and solidify, right? Galvanize. Surrender says, I can release my need to control. So that's what surrender says. I can release my need to control. And look at the mandalas a little misshapen here, because this is confused energy. This is imbalance, right? Calling us to surrender. When we think we know our purpose, but in truth we need to be surrendering, don't we? Whew! Heavy, heavy. Okay, let's read first on this purpose card. Again, it says, I know what I am here to do. You have chosen to reincarnate on earth for one major goal, to express love in all you do. The obstacles of this physical dimension can distract you from that goal. Right? Right there. That can distract you from your goal. And it's easy to lose your way. Life on earth is full of obligations that require your conscious attention, but it doesn't mean you can't infuse all of your decisions with caring and compassion, the fully healed divine feminine, y'all, that nurturing. Right? A lot of us take this self-defense to a toxic degree very quickly. Right? Instead of a self-defense, how about knowing that you're divinely protected, having faith? Right? Trusting those divine downloads, but not being so sure of it that you're being defensive about it. Just know that you're protected, right? Your purpose in this life is not your career. Rather, your career is guided by your purpose. What activities speak to your soul? What brings you joy? That is the direction that your soul is calling you toward to best convey your own unique expression of love and make a contribution to the world. If you're not happy with your current circumstances, then that is your soul telling you that there's a better way to manifest your own distinct gifts. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. Maybe some of us aren't healing that divine feminine. We're all la-di-da with the divine downloads, but we're forgetting this and healing the divine feminine in the past. We think because we're getting these divine downloads that the prophetic dreams are taken for granted. They're just simply taken for granted, right? A lot of us have been having weird, strange dreams and just as quickly dismiss them and go about our lives without meditating on it and without properly processing it, right? Without properly nurturing it. Interesting. It's your connection to spirit, right? And the voice of your soul. Listen to that intuition. That intuition is your connection to the spirit. That intuition, right? And the voice of your soul. Why get all wrapped up in the unknowing and just have faith, right? The elk I like to see is firmly planting their hooves, right? Like being at a firm stance. Knowing, just knowing. That's faith, right? Not thinking you know. Not discerning that you know, but just knowing that you know. You won't have to worry about that, right? You can be prepared for what's to come and solidify yourself. And right? We get caught up too much in this, or too sure of ourselves to a toxic level, not healing that divine feminine. You are going to repeat the lessons. Surrender. Let's read more about that card. I'm almost there. Oh. So, surrender. Let's read more about that card. Again, this card it says, I can release my need to control. It says you can. Right? Turn that into an I am, is my advice. But let's read more. You need to understand that the distinction between, you need to understand the distinction between power and control. Right? You have the power of internal control, but very little external control. Very little external control. You have very good internal control in the future here, right? We're so sure of ourselves, and we might be nurturing the wrong aspects. This is calling to nurture yourself in a healthy way. Birch is a very beautiful tree, right? But it's also a very fragile tree. The majority of your external control is through the power of influence. You can lead by example. Every soul has its unique path, and it's not your job to dictate it. Giving advice or direction in a compassionate manner is the way to go. Your soul, too, has a path, and you possess the power to control it. But you must surrender the illusion that you have control over another. The best, I was reminded of this earlier today. It says, the best thing I can do for you is work on me. The best thing you can do for me is work on you, right? So in a way, that's self-control, is controlling what we can control, and that's the self. That's the now, not the future. The now. Okay, we're looking back at that divine feminine from the past, right? Present influences are in those downloads. So I urge you to really go within with these divine downloads. And if you don't know how, seek a guru or message me at youressentialpractice@gmail.com. I'll do a guided meditation with you. Right? We can even just, if you don't want to do a meditation, we can chat about it, and I can teach you how to discern different signs from your downloads, right? And really just to make sure that whatever they are, you're addressing them in a healthy manner, right? Not from this defensive, reactive, but in a firm stance of faith. Healthy nurturing, right? The unknowing, that's where the divine wants us to be more secure. It's okay to not know. Just know that you're prepared. By addressing this in a healthy way, you're already prepared. See, these runes are directly across from one another. So when this is taken care of in a healthy way, yes, this is addressed. Divine downloads in a healthy way, the future tests are addressed with faith, with healthy nurturing. And then we get to solidify ourselves in our stance, in our spiritual practice, in our mental practice, in our social practices, right? Whew! Okay, more about this card. I'm sorry, I went off on a little tangent there. Remember that this is a process, and from time to time your ego will rise up and demand that things be the way they should be, quote unquote. Envision a hot air balloon being loaded up with all of the things you think you need to control, and let them ride away in the balloon. Let them ride away in the balloon. You'll be surprised to find that when you release the energy of control and accept the energy of surrender, doors will open that you never expected. Because you have now given the universe space in which to materialize what is needed for your highest soul growth. Your purpose is surrender. Like my head just went, it exploded, right? Trust, have faith, you guys. Right? Don't be all up in your heads or so sure of yourself that you're being toxic. Some of you may be getting challenged by family, challenged by the new levels and new tests coming up. Have faith, surrender, and your purpose will be solidified. Let's look at messages from the fairies for more clarification. Fairies, what message do you have for the collective today on this very, very interesting rune reading today? Fairies, what message do you have for the collective for this rune reading? Fairies are a lot less serious. Well, they're still serious to a degree, I should say. They're more I want to say lighthearted about it. It's not as foreboding, I would say, although they can be very direct and very, yep, you wanted that card? Okay. They can be very concise. That's the word, when the time calls for it. This is new career. Your work focus is shifting in a positive, new, and successful direction. Whew! Look at that beautiful rainbow. That's coming from you. Right? When we surrender, when we have faith, when we're nurturing, when we're embodied in that divine feminine with spreading that love, right? It's so beautiful. I'm getting a little choked up. I'm just getting a little too serious, I think. Let's just read this new career card. Again, it says, your work focus is shifting in a positive, new, and successful direction. The fairy sent this card in answer to your dreams and prayers about your career. Maybe you're in your head about that. You're getting so much downloads that you don't know how to nurture it. Let it go. Be as still as that elk planting its firm feet and tune in. The fairy sent this card in answer to your dreams and prayers about your career. The universe is responding to your spoken and silent desires to have a fulfilling and meaningful profession. This is a reminder to your thoughts, this is a reminder to keep your thoughts positive and continue taking guided action steps, such as getting additional education, networking with people in the industry that you would like to be in, updating and sending out your resume or marketing materials, and engaging in creative pursuits. Daily action combined with prayer opens career doors for you. So that daily actions and that nurturing, that's the only real rune of real action here. A lot of this is etherical and divine downloads, right? So this is very much calling you to nurture yourself towards that outcome, right? You can't expect the downloads to do everything for us, right? The divine feminine calls us to spread love and compassion, right? And healing energies. All of that. Oh my gosh, this is so wonderful though. Additional meanings for your card are your business idea will be successful, or trust and follow your intuition about your career, or return to school or take a class to learn a new skill, or your financial situation is improving. Have faith. Just know. Don't be like, yes, I'm manifesting $1 million, I think. Like in your head, you're going, yeah, I think. What you say on social media and what you say to yourself have been two different things, haven't they? Ask me how I know. Yeah, I've been there too, right? We've all been there. Every level's a new test. Don't let it freeze you. Instead, become solid like ice. Another meaning for the card is you'll receive a promotion or a raise in salary. Yeah. Or another one is to heal an issue at your workplace so you can move forward with your profession and your life. A lot of you might be getting those downloads too, to go ahead and take that leap, right? To move forward in whatever direction that you're apprehensive about. So divine is calling us to go within for that communication in a healthy way, to really nurture that future growth, right? These are moves to be taken in the future, right? Have faith is what I'm being called to say, like a lot. I know I'm repeating myself, but I cannot stress that enough. A lot of people take faith to a toxic level. You don't know how many Christians I talk to that have that toxic level of faith, right? Or just any people, really. So in the future outcome, just know that you're divinely protected, for the action taken for the best outcome. Know that you're divinely protected. Okay? You don't have to worry about this. I would even just say forget that this is even here, because you don't need to dwell on this. Right? If anything, reflect into the water of the past, into the divine feminine, and learn the lessons with the communication, with the downloads, the prophetic dreams, with the communication of others, communication maybe with family, or nurturing those new ideas and concepts, building the faith, right? Getting that momentum, right? Knowing that we're divinely protected, we don't have to worry about any of these then. When we surrender, we have purpose, and our purpose is in our surrender. Let's get a chakra token for this read. And right away we have the throat chakra. So the throat chakra, when we're not healed, can really get us all caught up in our thoughts rather than voicing our stances in a healthy way. So healing the throat chakra, one of my favorite just things to recite while I'm working on my throat chakra, is just saying, I am free. Or you could even say, I surrender. I have purpose in surrender. And surrender is my purpose. I am free. Right? Even just declaring that to yourself in the mirror, it has profound implications, right? So the throat chakra mudra, we'll go over the mudra first, is interlocking the thumb and forefingers, and then we're interlacing the, curling down in the, some people fold it, right? But I like going just like this. It's a little more comfortable. You can get more of a closed to the heel of the palm, right? And you can hold this in front of your throat, your Adam's apple, wherever you want to call it, right? And recite the mantra HAM, H-A-M, HAM. The colors associated with throat chakra are blue, sky blue, royal blue, turquoise, and black. The solfeggio frequency for the throat chakra is 741 hertz. That's 741. Okay. If you're someone who is shy or has difficulty expressing themselves or is an arrogant person, you're showing signs of a blocked throat chakra. Okay. When you listen to the 741 hertz, that helps us unlock that chakra to open it up, to heal it, right? And once we've opened the throat chakra, you'll be able to speak your truth. That's a form of surrender. Let that sink in. Declaring our purpose. Healing the throat chakra. A lot of us, that'll mean a new career opportunity or success in a new venture, right? So you'll be able to speak your truth and express yourself more clearly and be able to listen to your intuition a lot better. A lot of people think that's in the third eye, but that intuition unblocking also is very, very much in that throat chakra. Hey everyone, I know it got pretty intense, pretty heavy there. Unlock that throat chakra, get that divine intuition in a healthy way, make sure we're nourishing right. So nourishing like water, drinking a lot more, eating healthy, meditating, getting plenty of rest, right? Nurturing our relationships with self, with divine, with other people, with our family, right? Having faith, not in a super locked-tight defensive way, but knowing that you're divinely protected and that you're strong and you have that defensive state as far as you're unshakable in your faith, right? Whatever faith that may be for you, right? The unknowing, that doesn't need to be really addressed, right? Worrying about the future, just make sure that we're taking those steps in releasing the need to control the outcome. Be in that flow, like you're in a river, right? And you want to enjoy the ride. Why are you paddling from shore to shore or trying to stay in one? I really like this part in the stream. I think I'm just going to paddle like mad and stay right here. No. Enjoy the ride. Parts of the river might not be as pretty, but parts might be even better. I know that's just a kind of a weird analogy, but I know this is a very long rune reading, and I thank you all for staying with me and hanging in there. I'm Eric Paulson with Your Essential Practice, right? Your purpose is in surrender, and your surrender is your purpose. I don't know if you can see them that great, but okay. A lot of us, that could mean increase in funds, new career, a divine, see if we can do that. Yep. Beautiful being of light. That's you. That's you, but don't get cocky with it. That's all it's really reminding you of, right? By releasing that need to control and having faith in the divine, letting divine take the reins, right? Letting divine in to that communication, right? Intuing those thoughts that you get from them in a healthy way and nourishing them. Not just saying, oh, I got this really cool download, I can't wait to share it on social media. No. Thank you, divine, for that amazing download. I am going to look up ways that I can practice it, right? By maybe looking up really good YouTubers that I like to watch or something like of that nature. Look at your what you view on a daily basis, right? Is it healthy for you? Is it nourishing for you? Is the self-talk nourishing, right? Those are all really big reminders. Okay. That throat chakra mudra, again, is the thumb and pinky fingers together, like that. And we're just folding it in, locking it in, right? Right in front of the throat. H-A-M, hum. See, even just saying that, I felt a little clearing coming up, right? So that it does work, all right? I've had to do major throat chakra healing, right? To even get up here to express the healing and to share the information with you, right? It takes a lot of throat chakra work for me personally, so I'm with you. You're not alone in this. Colors associated with that throat chakra, again, are light blue, sky blue, royal blue, and turquoise and black. And again, that's 741 hertz. Again, I'm Eric Paulson with Your Essential Practice. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please just really take it easy, okay, on yourself and that divine feminine, right? Because it is almost going to be, it sounds insurmountable, but it's almost going to be as if it's a do or die. But really, it's going to be a repeat of lessons if that divine feminine isn't healed. And really, I think this really calls to the collective, right? Maybe not you personally, but when you put a drop in a bucket and another drop in a bucket and another drop in a bucket, pretty soon the bucket has a lot of water in it, right? Let us be, each one of us, those drops in the bucket, adding to that collective divine feminine healing. Namaste. Have a blessed and abundant day.